Picture this, a marble corridor, cool to the touch, even in the suffocating midday heat. Columns rising into shadows, dust floating like lazy ghosts through sunbeams. Somewhere ahead, the faint sound of sandals scuffing polished stone. And in the center of it all, you, wrapped in a toga that's slightly too tight across your chest, weighted with unfamiliar pins. The air smells of olive oil, wax, and something faintly metallic, like bronze coins warming in your palm. You blink. No smartphone, no keys, no reassuring buzz of modern life. Spoiler, you're in ancient Rome. Congratulations. You're not famous, not a senator, not even a citizen. But for now, you're alive. And if you're wondering why the rich here smear themselves with snail-slime, well, settle in. That's just the start of it. Because here, beneath the marbled grandeur, life is sweatier, smellier, and far more dangerous than your high school history teacher ever dared mention. But don't worry, you've got time. The aqueducts aren't going anywhere. For the next few hours, we'll walk these streets together, through bathhouses and banquet halls, into grimy workshops and fragrant gardens, past scheming patricians and clever slaves. You'll meet a merchant who counts every coin thrice, a baker's boy with burn-scarred arms, a perfumer's wife who knows exactly which oils the emperor favors. And as you drift, scene to scene, a question may tug at you. How much of today's world really is modern? Spoiler, less than you think. For now, breathe. The story is long. The marble cools your skin. Your heart begins to slow. And the first light of this strange new morning is just beginning to break. Picture this. A brittle shaft of light creeps across cracked frescoes. Faint streaks of red and ochre faded by time and heat. You open your eyes slowly. The first thing you register is dust. It hangs in the air, settles on your lashes, lines your nostrils with a faint, dry grit. The bed beneath you is a hard wooden frame. No mattress. Just a thin woolen blanket stretched tight over coarse straw. It crackles softly as you shift. You itch. Warmth. No. Heat. Already the air hums with it. A trapped, heavy warmth that presses into your skin like a damp cloth. Through a slit in the wooden shutter, you glimpse the sun. Not gentle, not welcoming. A molten disk rising over terracotta rooftops. Your mouth is dry. Your throat aches. The night's wine, thin and sour, left you parched. You swallow, tasting dust and tannin. A faint chorus floats up from the street below. Hooves on stone, vendors shouting. The metallic clang of distant tools. You sit up. The rough fabric tugs against your skin. Your shoulders burn where sweat dried to salt. You exhale slowly. Tepid air, no relief. Privacy, a fantasy. Hope, just a flicker. A sour, sweet scent wafts from the corner of the room. An earthen jar of figs, half shriveled, buzzes faintly with flies. You wrinkle your nose. No clocks, no hour. But you know, by the rising heat, the hum of life outside. You've slept too long already. Your feet touch the floor, cool, worn stone. A network of cracks snakes beneath your toes. The chill lasts only a second before the floor absorbs the day's warmth, turning clammy. A bronze mirror leans against the wall, warped, imperfect. You glance into it and blink. Your face stares back, unfamiliar, browned by sun, framed by tousled curls. Under your eyes, shadows of poor sleep. You draw in a slow breath. The air tastes faintly of oil and mildew. Somewhere a rat scurries beneath the floorboards. Your tunic lies crumpled in the corner. Linen, coarse, streaked with old sweat and the faint green stain of crushed herbs. You gather it with a sigh. Clean, no. Comfortable, doubtful. Acceptable, barely. You shrug it on, grimacing as the fabric scrapes across sunburned skin. A knock, 3 sharp raps against thin wood. You freeze. Dominus? A boy's voice, uncertain. You asked for figs and water. Your stomach clenches at the thought of either. You shuffle to the door, lift the latch with fingers sticky from sleep. The boy stands barefoot, dust coating his legs. In his arms, a chipped ceramic bowl of fruit, a small amphora sealed with wax. He sets them down and retreats, gaze low. One glance tells you not a slave, but close. His tunic is mended in 6 places, his belt knotted with fraying rope. A portrait. Flavius, age 12. Father crippled in the mills. Works dawn to dusk to feed 3 siblings. Dreams of one day owning a single silver coin. Not today, you whisper thanks. He blinks in surprise and scurries off. You peel the wax from the amphora. The water smells faintly of clay and smoke. You sip cautiously. It tastes better than it smells, barely. Your stomach protests the figs, but hunger wins. You bite into one, soft, seedy, sweet with a sour edge. Not much, but it settles your nerves. You wipe sticky fingers on your tunic and glance again at the mirror. Still you, still strange. Questions, too many. Answers, none yet. Choices, yours to make. A shout from the street below draws you to the window. You unlatch the warped shutter. The world outside greets you with a slap of noise and scent. Roasted garlic, fish brine, crushed mint. Vendors cry wares in Latin. Carts rattle over stones. Women in layered stolas bargain fiercely, children darting beneath their skirts. Above it all, the sun beats down. White stone walls shimmer. A beggar sprawls beneath an awning, fingers outstretched, face blistered. You lean on the sill. The wood is rough, gouged with initials and strange symbols. Escape, tempting. Understanding, vital. Fear, inevitable. A breath in, a breath out. You will learn this place, survive it, perhaps even thrive. But first, you must leave this room, and the day is waiting. And so the sun climbs higher, and your story begins. Picture this. You step into the corridor, barefoot on worn stone. The floor is cool for one breath, then clammy as the warmth of the building seeps into your skin. The air smells of boiled cabbage, smoke, and the faint tang of mildew. You pause, listening. Above you, beams groan softly, old timber, stretched thin by time. Rats scurry in the shadows. You hear them before you see them. Nails clicking on plaster, bodies brushing against forgotten cloth. You glance upward. A rat meets your gaze through a jagged hole in the ceiling. It doesn't flinch. Neither do you. Warmth, no. Privacy, none. Hope, just a flicker. You descend uneven stairs, trailing your fingers along the wall. The stone is cool, damp. You breathe through your mouth now. The sour air clings to your tongue. In the courtyard below, life stirs. Laundry flaps in a sluggish breeze. A brazier smokes, bitter and gray. A stray dog lies beneath a cart, ribs sharp beneath its fur. Its eyes follow your steps. A man leans against a pillar, gnawing a bone, scratching a rash beneath his collar. His tunic clings with sweat and grime. You nod. He doesn't respond. You glance down at your own arms. New welts dot your skin. You scratch without thinking. Lice, perhaps. Fleas. Something worse. A faded notice on the wall advises boiling clothes in vinegar. You doubt many heed it. Comfort. Forgotten. Cleanliness. Lost. Determination. Rising. Outside, the city shimmers. You shield your eyes and step into the light. Stones beneath your feet radiate heat. You feel it through worn sandals. Above, laundry bridges alleyways, casting scraps of shade. The air hums with voices. Vendors hawking wares. Carts rumbling over stone. Children darting between wheels. And flies. Always flies. Fat and slow, they settle on skin, fruit, filth alike. You wave them off, a losing battle. A beggar coughs wetly beneath an awning. You edge away. Spoiler, not everyone will see tomorrow. Congratulations, you might. if you're careful. Near the wall, an old woman shuffles past, basket of lavender and rue swinging at her hip. Her eyes gleam with sharp intelligence beneath a tangle of white hair. You nod. She winks. Snails glisten along a sun-drenched ledge, fat, slow, precious. Nobles prize their slime for beauty creams. The idea seems absurd until you consider the gold it commands. In a city where sweat and dirt cling like second skins, the pursuit of softness is relentless and profitable. A breeze stirs. It smells of smoke, fish brine, crushed mint. You inhale carefully. Tolerable, barely. Necessary, always. Avoidable, never. And as the sun climbs higher, Rome breathes deeper. The streets beckon. You square your shoulders and walk on. The day is only beginning. Picture this. The sun creeps higher. Heat pools in every crack, every seam of the city. Your skin is sticky, your throat dry. Time to find water, time to wash if you can. You walk downhill, careful where you step. The streets glisten with the remains of last night's revelry. Wine, refuse, worse. You skirt puddles of uncertain origin. Ahead, voices cluster around a public fountain. A tall column topped with a bronze spout spills a thin stream into a worn basin. A small queue snakes before it. You take your place, feeling the sun press against your neck. When at last you reach the spout, you cup your hands beneath the flow. The water is cold, shockingly so. You gasp, then drink. Deep, grateful swallows. The taste is clean enough to trust. You splash water over your face, neck, arms. Grit runs in rivulets down your skin. No soap. Too costly for most. You scrub with fingernails, knowing the effort is more symbolic than cleansing. Tepid comfort, temporary relief, no real cleansing. Beside you, a woman dips a linen cloth into the stream, wrings it out, wipes her child's face with gentle, practiced movements. Her eyes flick toward you, wary but not unkind. You nod. She returns to her task, the cloth moving in small circles. Below the fountain, a wide gutter carries runoff into the street's central channel. There, waste mingles freely with water. Flies swarm the flow. The smell turns your stomach. You step back. Cleanliness, fleeting. Contamination, constant. Awareness, crucial. You move on. The air shifts, sourer now. You follow your nose to a familiar, unwelcome place. The public latrina, a dim stone chamber, yawns open, lined with rows of cold benches. Openings gape beneath them. A sluggish channel carries waste beneath the floor. The stench hits like a blow. Ammonia, rot, despair. You breathe shallowly, eyes watering. You take your place, bracing yourself on the cool stone. Around you, others squat in silence, eyes fixed on the middle distance. No words pass. Privacy is a fiction here. For wiping, a communal sponge rests in a vinegar-filled basin. You eye it with deep suspicion. Choices are few. Spoiler, infections breed easily here. Congratulations, today you may avoid them. A man coughs violently in the corner. His ribs strain beneath mottled skin. You look away, sensing the weight of eyes on your own back. Emerging into sunlight, you inhale greedily, even the city's acrid breath welcome after the latrina's grip. Your skin is damp, gritty, but you are refreshed by Roman standards. Comfort, redefined. Hygiene, relative. Gratitude, unexpected. You step into the stream of life once more. Vendors shout, carts rumble. A noblewoman passes, borne high in a litter, trailing scents of rose oil and powdered shells. Her slaves carry perfumed water, silk cloths. She will bathe in marble, anoint her skin with oils and snail-slime. You smile faintly. The gulf between you yawns wide, but for now you both move through the same sunlit streets. The day stretches ahead. You walk on. Picture this. The sun hammers the streets. Your stomach clenches, hollow and insistent. The figs from dawn were a whisper. Now you need a meal with weight. You follow the rising scents: smoke, garlic, bread. The city wakes hungry. At the edge of the market district, you find a baker tending a clay oven. His arms are dusted white, face shiny with sweat. Loaves puff and crackle inside. You step closer. He looks up, eyes sharp. Without a word, you trade a coin for a half-loaf still warm from the hearth. The crust is crisp, the crumb dense and sour. Perfection, no. Sustenance, absolutely. You tear a piece free with your teeth, savoring its rough solidity. The first swallow soothes your belly's protest. Nearby, a woman ladles lentil porridge into battered bowls. You hesitate, weighing your dwindling coins. But the scent wins. You trade another small coin for a steaming portion. It scalds your tongue, earthy, thick with oil and wild herbs. You eat quickly, each bite steadying your bones. Around you, laborers crouch over their meals. No conversation here, just the shared act of filling emptiness. Comfort, minimal. Nutrition, sufficient. Joy, fleeting. A boy hawks dates from a wicker tray. The fruit gleams with sticky syrup. You cannot resist. 3 coins buy 3 dates. You bite into the first. Soft, sun-warmed, impossibly sweet. Spoiler: theft is rampant. Congratulations. Your dates remain yours. Fingers sticky, you seek a quieter corner. A low stone wall offers rest. You sit, watching the tide of market life. Clay bowls, bronze trinkets, piles of coarse salt. Merchants haggle, gestures sharp. Coins change hands with wary speed. A potter arranges rough earthen plates. His hands move with grace. Centuries of habit in each motion. Tableware here is simple. Pottery for the common, bronze for the wealthy, glass for the gods or those who pretend to be. Bread serves as both utensil and sponge. Forks do not exist. A thin woman passes, balancing a basket of cheese and figs. Her eyes sweep the crowd with a practiced glance. Your gaze lingers a moment. Then you rise. The dates and porridge are gone. The bread nearly so. Enough for now. The fountain beckons. You rinse your hands beneath its cool stream, savoring the sharp contrast against sunburned skin. Around you, Rome surges and spins. Traders shout. A thief flees with a curse. A child laughs. You stand, shoulders squared. The city waits. Your belly no longer gnaws. Your eyes are clearer. The day is yours to meet. Picture this. You walk through Rome's veins, belly steadied, steps sure. The sun rides high now. Heat ripples in every breath. Sweat beads beneath your tunic. You watch those around you, what they wear, what they reveal. In this city, garments speak louder than words. At a market stall, bolts of wool and linen sway like slow waves. Reds and deep blues hide beneath rougher cloth, their price whispered, not posted. You touch a strip of linen, coarse, serviceable. Your own tunic will last another week, though its hem darkens with grime. A merchant catches your eye. He lifts a finer piece, lips curling in practiced persuasion. You shake your head. Coins are too few, linen too lasting. You move on. A nobleman strides past, his toga edged with purple, a river of ivory against sun-browned skin. Men part before him. You do too. That narrow stripe of imperial dye marks danger as well as rank. One misstep near such cloth can cost more than coin. Your own tunic clings with sweat, linen stitched at the shoulders, belted at the waist. Beneath it, little more. Simplicity serves you well today. Coolness, a fantasy. Modesty, achieved. Elegance, not today. You adjust your belt. The leather cracks beneath your fingers, faithful despite the years. A market woman pauses to shift her stola, layers of cloth flowing from shoulder to sandaled feet. Bronze pins catch the light. A basket of pears balances on one hip, moving as if part of her. She meets your gaze, winks, and vanishes into the crowd. Farther down, children play in a shadowed courtyard. A boy wears only a tunic hacked short, the hem dark with dust. A girl sports a crown of laurel leaves, wilting in the heat. Laughter rings off stone. For them, fashion holds no chains. You smile. In the shade of a perfumer's stall, a woman fans herself, her gown clinging artfully. Her skin gleams beneath a sheen of rose and myrrh. A young man lingers near, his crimson-dyed tunic loud against the sun. Rings flash on his fingers. Words pass between them, soft, sharp. You leave them to their dance. Some games are better watched than played. A laundress kneels by a fountain's edge. Tunics soak in sand and vinegar. Her arms move in rhythm, scrubbing with relentless care. The garments, once bright, now pale beneath her touch. You nod in silent respect. Her labor is a hymn of endurance. As the sun leans westward, you walk on. Your linen tunic clings. Your eyes read fabric and form like a second language. Each color, each thread tells a story. Some of pride, some of survival, all of Rome. The city breathes around you, and you, clad in simple linen, breathe with it. Picture this. The city's stones grow hotter with each step. Your feet ache, the air thickens. You move toward the gates, drawn beyond marble and noise. Beyond the walls, Rome breathes a different rhythm. Fields shimmer beneath a sky washed pale by sun. Wheat bends in slow waves. Vines tangle across dusty slopes. Olives ripen beneath gnarled boughs. Here earth answers no emperor, only the sun, the rain, and the hands that tend it. A girl drives a cart past you, her bare feet dusty, face set with quiet purpose. She nods as she passes. Her day began before the stars dimmed. It will end long after they return. Far below, a vineyard hums with life. Men prune vines with curved knives. Women balance baskets heavy with fruit. The air smells of crushed leaves and sweat. A foreman barks orders. The workers move with weary precision, bodies bent to the day's demand. Closer still, an olive grove stretches into haze. Families spread nets beneath twisting branches. Hands stained black gather fallen fruit, fingers quick and knowing. A boy chases a lizard between the nets. A woman's laughter rings out, brief, bright as sunlight. You linger at the edge, unseen. The rhythm here soothes, ancient, unbroken. Down a dusty track, a potter shapes clay with steady grace. His foot pumps the wheel. His hands coax vessels from formless earth. Each bowl, each jar holds more than clay. Hours of labor, the weight of unseen need. Some will shatter, some will serve. Few will last. Nearby, two men wrestle a stubborn ox into harness. The animal snorts, hooves scraping stone. Their muscles strain, faces set with grit and resignation. The ox yields, the furrow deepens. The cycle continues. A bell tolls faint from a distant villa. Noon. The sun crowns the sky. In a patch of shade, workers gather. Bread, olives, hard cheese. Simple offerings to sustain weary bodies. They eat in silence. A nod, a shared glance. Small gestures of community forged in sweat. You watch from afar, uninvited but unshunned. Rest. Brief. Hunger constant. Dignity preserved. An old man pauses beside his plow, wiping his brow. His gaze meets yours, steady, unafraid. You incline your head. He nods once, then turns back to his earth. His life written in furrows. His wisdom deeper still. The sun begins its slow descent. Shadows lengthen. Labor resumes. You walk back toward the city, dust rising behind you. The fields fade. Stone and smoke return. But their rhythm hums within you now, a counterpoint to the city's restless song. You step through the gates, feet lighter. Rome waits, and you walk to meet it. Picture this. You pass beneath the gate once more. Rome rises around you, stone and shadow, wealth and want entwined. Now your steps turn upward, toward shaded courtyards and guarded halls. Here another rhythm beats. Less sweat, more spectacle. The air shifts, streets widen, walls gleam with fresh plaster. Porticos offer welcome shade. Slaves move briskly, eyes lowered, arms full. Behind tall gates, villas breathe life into marble and mosaic. Within, the powerful shape their world with words, gestures, ink. You pause near a colonnade. Voices drift from within, measured, deliberate. A magistrate dictates to a scribe, each word weighed like coin. Nearby, a senator debates a client, fingers slicing the air. The dance of influence is precise here. One misstep can unravel fortunes. You watch, unseen. Observation is safe currency. Past the forum, a domus hums with controlled activity. Inside, a noblewoman inspects fabrics, perfumes, accounts. Her gaze sharpens with each choice. Tutors drill her children in Greek and rhetoric. Knowledge is armor in this world. Worn young, worn always. A litter sways past, borne high by sweating men. Within reclines a figure draped in rings and silk, voice soft but commanding. Deals flow with each glance, each murmur. Coins speak louder than laws here. Closer to the law's heart, a magistrate presides in marble halls. Plaintiffs and defendants crowd before him, words tumbling in desperate streams. His face remains stone, his verdicts swift. Justice here is a performance as much as principle. In a shaded corner of the forum, a philosopher lectures beneath an ancient oak. His audience listens. Merchants, nobles, slaves. He speaks of virtue, fate, the folly of wealth. Some nod, some scoff. One boy's eyes shine with new understanding. Wisdom threads through marble and dust alike. Near the baths, preparations begin for midday feasts. Slaves polish silver. Cooks stir fragrant sauces. In a nearby triclinium, a senator hosts clients and allies. Reclining figures sip chilled wine, voices low and layered. Politics brews faster than the wine flows. Every word a blade, every smile a mask. You drift past, a shadow among shadows. Power draws the eye, but burns the unwary. As the sun tilts west, the city hums with unseen deals. Scrolls pass, seals are pressed. Fates shift beneath polished floors. You step away, ears ringing with unspoken truths. Rome's upper world glistens, but beneath its sheen lies sharper hunger. The streets narrow again, the crowds thicken, the city's pulse quickens, and you walk on, wiser now, eyes wide. Picture this. The sun leans westward, shadows lengthen, the city exhales, ready for business anew. You follow the flow toward Rome's pulsing heart, the market. Voices rise before you reach it. Metal clangs, cloth flaps, animals bleat. The air thickens with scents, spices, sweat, fish, dust. You pass beneath an arch. The market sprawls beyond, a makeshift city within the city. Stalls cluster like reef and tide. Clay pots, bronze tools, bright fabrics, dull dyes. Everything has a price. Most prices have teeth. At the cattle pens, oxen bellow. Traders bellow louder. Coins flash. Hands weigh muscle and hide. Nearby, a man sells honey thick as sunlight. Another hawks garum, the city's beloved rot in a jar. You move carefully. Every gaze here measures profit. A tax collector's booth squats beneath faded banners. Behind it, a thin man scratches figures into wax. His eyes flick up, sharp, cold. Traders queue, brows furrowed, lips tight. One bribe changes hands, slick as oil. Another deal sours in argument. The taxman smiles thinly, indifferent to justice. You step wide. Some nets are better skirted. A goldsmith displays rings upon velvet. His neighbor sells authentic relics with brazen charm. The crowd ripples with curiosity and caution. You watch, amused. Swindlers breathe here as easily as merchants. Spoiler: faith is the most expensive currency. Congratulations, you spend none. A woman with herbs calls to passers-by. Rue, basil, bay, green hope amid stone. You pause, drawn by her steady hands, her quiet voice. You buy a sprig of mint. The scent clears the dust from your thoughts. A circle forms near a wooden platform. Dice clatter, coins fly. Cheers and curses mix like wine and vinegar. You watch, hands in pockets. Luck is fickle here, more so when weighed by practiced palms. Past the gamblers, a potter stacks vessels with reverence. His movements are slow, precise. You linger, admiring the simplicity of honest craft. A fight erupts nearby. Shouted accusations, a flung fish. The crowd parts, then closes again. The market swallows every scene. Honesty, scarce. Caution, wise. Curiosity, your best shield. The sun dips lower. Merchants shout louder. Final deals spark in the fading light. You leave with purse intact and senses sharpened. Not every coin spent is lost. Not every coin kept is won. The city hums as you walk away. The market's echo lingers, a symphony of greed, grit, and life. Rome's heart beats loud, and you, for now, beat with it. Picture this. The sun sinks low. Shadows sprawl like lazy cats. The city shifts once more. Work wanes, revelry stirs. Tonight, a festival unfurls its bright claws. You follow the current toward it. Banners snap in the dusk. Flutes trill. The air smells of roasted meat, sweat, crushed petals. The campus Martius spreads wide before you. A festival of Ceres draws crowds, ostensibly pious, openly riotous. Vendors hawk figs glistening with honey. Minstrels pluck sharp tunes. Children weave between legs, chasing laughter and coins. You drift amid the swirl, senses stretched thin. At the field's edge, dice games thrive. Knucklebones rattle against worn cloth. Men crouch, hands trembling with hope, faces lined with regret. You watch around, bones scatter, coins follow. Cheers and groans rise as one. Spoiler, the house always wins. Congratulations, your coins remain untouched. Acrobats leap beneath a torchlit arch. Limbs flash, bodies twist. The crowd gasps. A girl balances atop her brother's shoulders, arms spread wide as wings. Gravity bows to her will, if only for a heartbeat. You applaud softly. The hat fills with scattered coin and whispered envy. Word spreads fast. Arena seats open tonight. Free. You let the crowd pull you along. The Circus Maximus looms vast against the darkening sky. Flames flicker along its rim. The air quivers with anticipation. You find a perch amid rough stone. The scent of oil and blood hangs thick. Trumpets blare. Chariots thunder forth, wheels screaming, drivers crouched low. The crowd surges with each turn, each near crash. A driver tumbles, horses scream, the crowd roars, fate flickers in the dust. Spoiler, not all will leave whole. Congratulations, you watch and walk away. As the sand clears, gladiators take the field, steel and sinew gleaming beneath torchlight. Cheers swell, bets fly. The first clash rings out sharp as truth. A net snakes through the air, a trident follows. The dance is swift, brutal, blood stains sand. A thumb lifts, mercy. The crowd's cry drowns it. Life or death, tonight the line thins, the match ends. The city exhales, the crowd disperses, some richer, some bleeding, all changed. You drift past torchlit stalls, taverns spill song and staggering patrons. A noble sways beneath laurel wreath, cup dangling from slack fingers. His laughter peels brittle, hollow. You move on. Rome shines sharpest at night, but cuts quickest too. The city hums deep beneath the stars. You walk its edge, watchful, whole. Dawn lies distant. The night holds many turns yet. You step into them steady. Picture this. The hour grows late, the streets thin. Merriment fades to murmurs. Yet not all corners of Rome sleep. Beneath the marble and mosaic, law walks with a colder tread. You drift toward the forum once more. Its stones cool beneath tired feet. Torches gutter, shadows lengthen. Figures in dark cloaks confer beneath carved arches. Soldiers stand silent, spears sharp against the gloom. A prisoner stumbles past, barefoot, bloodied, bound. His breath rasps against the hush. Rufinus, thief, bread stolen for hollow bellies. The law knows no hunger. You step aside. Guards march him toward judgment. Their faces betray no thought, no doubt. The Tullianum looms squat and grim. Its mouth yawns dark, rank with centuries of despair. Few enter willingly. Fewer leave unchanged. A jailer leans in its shadow. His gaze flicks toward you, sharp, knowing. You move on. Some doors are best left unopened. A crossroad draws you. There, a makeshift trial unfolds by torchlight. A magistrate presides from a raised platform. A wiry man stands accused, hands bound, eyes hollow. Witnesses speak in clipped tones. The crowd leans in. Verdict comes swift. Sentence swifter. The law here wastes no time on poetry. You skirt the rostra, its stones worn smooth by countless feet, stained darker by less spoken truths. Tonight, no executions mar its face. But history lingers. You feel it beneath your soles. A drunk stumbles into the open. Guards close in with practiced ease. No trial needed for such offenses. Rome protects her peace with steel. A merchant argues with a taxman nearby. Voices rise. A bribe flickers from palm to palm. Dispute dissolved, not resolved. You watch. Another lesson filed away. Justice here is swift, harsh, often blind, always hungry. You walk slower now. The city's teeth flash sharper after dark. A beggar sleeps curled against cold stone. A noble rides past, chariot wheels hissing against silence. You find a quiet step, watch the currents swirl. Law binds this city, but so do shadow and silver. Spoiler, not all who fall deserved it. Congratulations, tonight you remain upright. Dawn hovers beyond the horizon. Rome breathes in her sleep, but never fully. You rise, walk on. One more thread in her endless weave. Picture this. The darkest hours draw close. The city's pulse slows, but another current stirs beneath. Thin, unseen, patient. Illness threads through Rome like smoke. You feel it in the air, thick as dust. At a corner fountain, a child coughs. A deep, wet sound. His mother strokes his back, voice low with worry. Her eyes dart toward you, pleading, wary. You pass quietly. Some moments ask no intrusion. Herbs and hope fill the market's edge. A healer arranges bundles of rue, sage, lavender. Her fingers move with reverence, lips murmuring old words. Faustina, herb woman, trusted by many, doubted by more, knows that knowledge often wears rough cloth. You pause, drawn by the mingled scents. She meets your gaze, offers a sprig of mint. You accept. The leaf cools your tongue, sharpens your senses. Nearby, a man sells charms against the pox. Amber beads, bone tokens, scraps of hide scrawled with faded runes. He shouts louder than the sick can whisper. Coins flow. Fear makes a rich harvest. Spoiler. Faith rarely heals the body, but calms the mind. Congratulations, your purse stays closed. A physician preaches beneath marble arches. His robe gleams, his rings flash. Clients press close. Quintus Galenus, scholar, doctor, seller of certainty, knows the line between cure and coin, and how to walk it. You listen as he prescribes pearl dust and goat's milk for a noblewoman's pallor. She leaves lighter in purse, heavier in hope. A funeral procession winds past, slow, solemn. Flute players wail thin notes. A widow clasps an amulet to trembling lips. Grief weighs the air. You bow your head, breath held. In a shrine's shadow, offerings pile high, garlands, wax figures, worn prayers. Supplicants kneel before Aesculapius, god of healing. Incense coils upward, thin as their hope. You light a taper. Faith may not cure, but it comforts. A beggar coughs beneath a crumbling portico. Passers-by veer wide. His eyes meet yours, hollow, pleading. You drop a coin. His grip burns too warm. You step back. Breath slows. Spoiler. Caution is no cruelty. Congratulations. Tonight, you remain unmarked. The sky pales faintly. Dawn creeps beneath the city's ribs. You walk slower now, the weight of unseen wars pressing close. Physicians and charlatans, faith and fear, all dance beneath illness's shadow. You breathe deep, one more step, one more hour. Rome stirs, restless, and you stir with her. Picture this. First light brushes Rome's rooftops. The stones beneath your feet still hold the night's chill. The city stretches, exhales, begins again. But behind its hard edges, softer rhythms beat. You wander past a villa's high wall. Laughter floats through its gate, light, bright, unguarded. Inside, children chase a worn ball beneath painted columns. Sandals slap stone. Small voices echo against marble. Marcus 7, merchant's son. Fluent in 3 tongues, 2 songs, 1 smile that disarms tutors and guards alike. His world is bound by privilege and expectation. His mother watches from a shaded bench. Every glance weighs future against present, ambition against affection. Beyond the market, a cramped courtyard hums with life. A girl rocks an infant, voice low with a song older than the stones beneath her. Claudia 13, mother dead, housekeeper, caregiver, trader of small hopes. The lullaby softens the sharp edges of her days. Brothers spar with carved sticks, unaware of the world's sharper blades. Around a corner, a wedding procession winds slow and loud. Musicians trill. Guests sing bawdy verse. The bride walks veiled in flame-colored cloth. Her gaze fixed ahead, her steps steady beneath layers of tradition. Livia, 16. Dowry paid. Marriage sealed by contract and custom. Dreams shelved beneath duty, for now. The crowd cheers. You wonder what price each smile holds. In a shaded room, an elder instructs young women. Lessons of loom and ledger, gaze and gesture. The arts of influence taught with needlepoint precision. Cornelia, thrice widowed. Survivor of plague and politics. Her words carve deeper than blades. Boys drill with wooden swords in a sunlit square. Fathers correct with gruff patience. Aulus, ex-centurion. Stone by trade now, but steel in spirit. His son moves with budding grace, each swing a seed of pride and fear. In a scholar's alcove, children recite Virgil and Homer. The tutor's voice sharp, his expectations sharper still. Gaius Crispus, freedman, believes knowledge is the finest shield, demands excellence, offers no less. One child falters, another shines. Both leave changed. Beneath an ancient fig, an old man weaves stories for rapt listeners. Heroes rise, monsters fall. Virtue triumphs for a moment. Lucius, grandfather, builder once, now keeper of memory. Each tale a gift, a tether. You pause, breath slowing. These threads, birth, loss, duty, hope, bind the city tighter than any law. Rome conquers with legions, but within her walls, it is family that endures. The sun lifts higher, voices swell. The day begins anew. You walk on, wiser, quieter. Rome breathes through its children, and through them forever forward. Picture this. The sun rides high now. Heat rolls off stone and roof. Rome's streets pulse slow beneath it. Behind heavy doors and shaded windows, homes awaken to quieter labors. You follow their scent. A narrow lane breathes rich with garlic and oil. A doorway stands ajar. Inside, a woman stirs a pot over low flames. Lentils bubble thick with herbs. Flatbread crisps on a cracked stone. Julia, widow, cooks for 3 small mouths. Each grain measured twice, each scrap saved. Her song is soft as steam, her gaze hard as iron. You linger, the warmth of her labor seeping through the street. Beyond the market, a villa hums with ordered purpose. Wealth moves here in unseen threads. In a marble kitchen, slaves grind spices, stir fragrant sauces, test the balance of sweet and sharp. Daphne, cook, freedwoman, commands her domain with a glance. Each dish a letter in Rome's unspoken language of power. She tastes, nods, another quiet victory. A courtyard herb garden breathes green against the stone. An old man moves between sprigs with reverence. Fingers brush basil, mint, rue. Each leaf chosen, each gesture deliberate. Titus, soldier turned gardener, now fights for flavor and life alike. Finds solace in green things where once there was only steel. You watch, soothed by the slow grace of his harvest. A family gathers in a cramped room. Lamps flicker, smoke thin and sharp. Cheese, olives, dried figs sit upon a worn board. Bread is broken. Wine thinned with water fills rough cups. Gnaeus, mason, his hands shaped stone by day. Now they cradle stories and small comforts. His daughters laugh soft as the flame. You sit unseen in their warmth. Elsewhere, silver gleams upon linen. A senator's triclinium fills with reclining figures. Oysters, honeyed dormice, thrush glazed in herbs pass from hand to hand. Laughter curls beneath sharpened words. Every glance measures. Every toast masks calculation. Lucius Pulcher, host. His feast weaves alliances as deftly as it sats hunger. The richest course is never served on a plate. You slip away. Opulence tastes bitter without peace. In a tavern's shadowed corner, a lone boy scrapes the last from a battered pot. Crumbs gathered like treasure. Felix, orphan, sweeps for scraps, learns flavors by scent alone. Dreams not of feasts, but of fullness. You watch him, heart heavier. Some hunger's words cannot dress. As twilight deepens, embers glow low. Kitchens quiet. Stories linger in the warm hush. Rome's heart beats loud beneath marble and grime. Yet in these moments, at fire and table, it beats truest. You walk on, the city exhales. So do you. Picture this. The sun falls behind tiled roofs. Rome's edges blur. The stones cool. Shadows deepen. But sleep, not yet. The city breathes a new rhythm now. Low, restless. Thick with unseen turns. You wander. The streets hum softer. Torches sputter to life. Voices shift. Work-worn tones give way to laughter, song. The sharp bark of argument. Taverns glow beneath sagging beams. Smoke curls through doorways. You step inside. The air is thick. Wine, sweat, burned oil. Cups clink, words slur. Hostia, tavern keeper. Sharp eyes beneath soft hands. Knows every name, every debt. Knows when to serve and when to refuse. She pours with grace, ears tuned. You watch, learning. In a shadowed corner, dice clatter. Fingers twitch, breath holds, coins gleam, then vanish. Gaius Crispus, ex-scribe. Luck rides thin on his shoulder tonight. He plays on. Hope weighs less than loss, so it flies faster. You stand aside, a lesson written in every roll. By the hearth a soldier sings, voice raw with salt and steel. Others join, mugs raised. The chorus swells, then cracks, then swells again. Tullus, centurion, chases silence beneath the wine. Tonight, the bottle wins, barely. You watch his gaze, not drunk enough to dim the ghosts. Outside, night's grip tightens. Footfalls echo against stone. A beggar murmurs at a shrine. Lovers dart through alleys. A thief eyes a merchant's purse, breath shallow. Vatia, cut purse, fingers light as shadows. Hopes for one clean pull before dawn. Your eyes meet. Mutual silence. Both move on. Deeper still, beneath torchlight, fists fly. An illegal fight hums beneath the crowd's breath. Marcus Niger, brawler, fights for coin, for pride, for hunger's edge. Every blow writes another line in his lean ledger. He falls, rises grinning. The crowd howls. You leave the ring behind, pulse steady. Rome sharpens at night. Steel flashes faster. Smiles cut deeper. But here too, softer threads endure. A flute sings from a high window. Notes soft as worn silk. You pause beneath, breath easing. Dido, musician, plays for coin, plays for shadows, plays for love lost long ago. Her song finds you where words cannot. You walk on, lighter, night thickens, the city hums beneath its stones. Spoiler: not all who dance through Rome's night will see her dawn. Congratulations, your feet still carry you forward. You move with care now. The streets twist deeper, the air cools. Tomorrow waits, but tonight Rome belongs to those who know her steps. And tonight, so do you. Picture this. The hour creeps toward its darkest. Rome's stone veins throb with quieter pulses now. The city's teeth flash sharper beneath the hush. You walk slower, eyes wider, breath lighter. Tonight, wisdom weighs more than coin or steel. The old know this best. You pause beneath a crumbling arch. A spindle hums softly. Antonia, spinner, 70 winters deep, sees through shadow and silk alike. She catches your glance, nods once. "Keep to the middle of the street," she murmurs. "Shadows reach far tonight." You step back into motion, one thread wiser. At a tavern's dying hearth, a bent man sharpens a knife. Sparks dance like restless ghosts. Cassian, ex-gladiator, one eye gone, no fear left, sells steel and the wisdom to avoid needing it. You trade a cup for a word. He drinks deep. "If you must run," he rasps, "run loud. Silence draws wolves." A quiet truth. You tuck it close. At a shrine's worn steps, a priest dozes. You move softly. His eyes flick open, sharp, unclouded. Lucius, priest of Mercury, blesses travelers, curses thieves, knows both paths well. He smiles faintly. "Wear no bright colors at night," he says. "Markings invite the marked." You glance at your tunic. The advice holds weight. A crone shuffles past, tray of garlic and charms swinging from a thin arm. Vibia, hedge witch, feared, sought, dismissed, remembered. She stops before you, cackles. "3 coins," she croaks. "1 sprig for each shoe, 1 for the purse." Keeps envy from the step. Superstition or shield. You choose shield. The coins pass. The sprigs settle into place. In a hollow courtyard, an elder sweeps dust in slow, steady circles. Gnaeus, builder once. His stones still stand. His words do too. He leans on his broom, eyes glittering. "Never trust a wall you didn't build," he says. "Never trust a smile that comes too fast." You file both deep. By a fountain's edge, a woman tends a sick cat. Her touch is sure, her voice softer still. Amelia, healer of strays, furred and human alike. She looks up as you near. "Kindness costs less than fear," she says, "and buys more in the end." A rare truth in Rome's tangled weave. The sky pales, birds stir, the city readies her next breath. You find Antonia once more. The spindle rests now. Her smile is thin. "See," she says. "You walk still. Listen again. You'll walk longer." A blessing in fewer words than most prayers. Spoiler: you won't remember every word tonight. Congratulations. You'll remember enough. The first hint of dawn brushes stone and skin alike. Rome stirs beneath it. You walk on, pockets heavier with unseen gold. Wisdom. It weighs light. It saves lives. Tonight, it saved yours. Picture this. The stars thin. The sky holds its breath. The city hovers between night and day. A place out of time. You walk softer now. Each footfall carries the weight of all you've seen. The bridge arches before you. Beneath, the Tiber murmurs secrets to worn stone. You lean against the railing. The water gleams dark, restless. You breathe deep. The city's noise fades to a hum, distant, dreamlike. A rag picker passes, basket creaking. Felix, scavenger, knows the worth of what others throw away, knows life offers the same lesson. Your eyes meet. No words pass. The understanding is older than coin. A lone cockerel calls. The sound rings thin in the hush. Near a shrine, a priestess lights oil lamps. Flame flutters against fading stars. Marcia, priestess, greets each dawn with the same reverence, no matter the city's sins. You watch her movements, steady, certain. Rituals bind this place as surely as stone. On cracked steps, a scholar writes by wavering lamp. Tertius, chronicler, records what most forget before sunrise. Without looking, he speaks. Every man is a story, he says, most unread, some unforgettable. You walk on. The words trail behind you. Mist coils above the river. A fisherman hauls empty nets, face unreadable. Marcellus, riverman, knows tides and loss with equal intimacy. He casts again. Not all labor yields bounty. Not all effort needs reward. Beneath a fig tree, an old teacher shares quiet words with two boys. Septima, philosopher, blind in one eye, yet sees truth with both mind and tongue. What is justice? She asks. The boys fall silent. Her smile is small, knowing. To ask is to begin. You linger unseen. A seed takes root. A centurion strides past. Varro commander, shoulders squared against battles no blade can meet. His path cuts through mist and memory alike. He vanishes into shadow. You remain. The forum lies ahead. Statues loom, silent witnesses to 1,000 dawns. You walk among them, stone beneath, stars above. A beggar curls beneath Jupiter's feet. Lovers whisper beneath Mars' indifferent gaze. The city shifts, unseen. You sit, think, breathe. What outlasts a city? What outlasts a name? Spoiler, perhaps nothing. Perhaps the asking is enough. A child's laugh pierces the hush. Sharp, pure, you rise. The first thread of light unspools across the forum. Rome stirs beneath it. You walk forward, not into certainty, but into light. One breath, one step, again. Picture this. You stand at the edge of the forum. The first gold of dawn stretches across columns and statues. Rome exhales, vast and restless. You breathe deep. The air tastes of river mist, stone, dust, bread. The weight of the night still clings to your bones, but lighter now, familiar. You look once more. A baker's boy delivers loaves, whistling through empty streets. A centurion drills his men, voice crisp in the cool air. A washerwoman laughs as water splashes sun-warmed stone. A senator whispers to a client beneath a shaded arch. A cat stretches atop worn marble, eyes wise beyond words. And you, feet sore, eyes open, heart heavier and lighter at once, stand among them. You have walked these streets, felt their breath, heard their stories, learned their lessons. And now, the city hums anew. The wheel turns. But for now, rest calls. Picture this, a cool room, faint linen, the hush of a waking city beyond thick stone walls. You lie back, muscles ease, breath slows. Lessons linger, walk softly, trust wisely, savor simply. Rome endures. You need not tonight. Sleep well, traveler of stone and shadow. You've earned it. Good night. Rome will wait.